Taylor Milliken. I'm the owner, founder of the company. I'm from Gallatin, Tennessee, born and raised, been here since I was 2 years old.
I'm Chris Williams. I'm the Customer Relations Manager. I handle the maintenance division, and I'm from Hendersonville, Tennessee.
We use it for accountability, but also, hence the name Align, we use it for alignment. One of the things that we found was that we didn't have enough people that were on the same page. So it's something that we use on a daily basis to make sure that we are focused on our priorities and we're able to get traction through our top tasks.
We use the Align software here at Milosi daily. We have a daily huddle that the senior leadership and some of the key people go through and kind of put their daily tasks, what they did the day before. We go through. It's a good opportunity to kind of get together in a 10-minute, kind of quick time to kind of catch up. It cuts down on emails and phone calls throughout the day. So there's 7 of us, I think, on that. So it's a quick kind of snapshot of what the day was before and the day going forward. We also use it for quarterly priorities and top tasks. We have 2-weekers here every management development meetings, and we put top tasks that we want to try to perform during that 2-week period. So we monitor that in there. And then also we have quarterly priorities that we pick as a company and then as individuals, and then we monitor that through the Align software.
What sets us apart is service, taking good care of our clients, focusing on their needs and aligning our services with those needs.
We are a landscaping business, but we're not the traditional landscaping business. We pride ourselves in customer service, which a lot of people do on landscaping, but our customers, the response is always, "You got back with me so quickly." We pride ourselves in getting back with someone almost immediately, but certainly by the end of the day. We also pride ourselves in the way that the company is run. The owner here is very creative in the things that he does, and we have profit sharing, which is not common in the landscaping field. We offer benefits for supervisors and up, which is not common in landscaping. Basically, we do things differently, and our customers feel the difference. Kind of the way we do things. We've got our mission statement and core values. We do everything based on those things and make sure that everything's done properly.
We started reading the Rockefeller Habits with our senior leadership team about 13 months ago, and then we realized that we needed some help facilitating some strategic planning. And once we found a need, I had asked Megan to help me find a company that was local that could come in and help us facilitate a strategic planning event with our senior leadership team, and then they had found Petra.
We've been implementing the Petra process for about 1.5 years. Our company is what would be considered a gazelle. We grow 30% every year, and it makes it a challenge, especially in landscaping, because as we get bigger, we take off hats and we pick up different hats.
Some of the pain points that we had prior to Petra was getting our team heading in the right direction, the same direction, is most importantly. Through the onset of using the Petra, the Rockefeller Habits, we realized that we were doing a lot of things right, but we weren't doing them to the full extent. For an example would be that I was having our financial meetings, but I was only having them with one person, our bookkeeper. We were having employee development meetings about strategy, but I was having them with one-on-one. We were having our operations meetings, but I was only having those operations meetings with the ops positions. And what we had found after the very first time that we had our first strategic planning event that helped us with that pain point was bringing everybody together and being able to communicate all of the pertinent information for our strategy, kind of the do's and don'ts with the team, as opposed to all of these single lines of communication. And that was probably the biggest thing that we picked up that helped us in our pain points?
Well, it's the growth. For example, when I got here 5 years ago, I did what we now have 4 people doing, and obviously we weren't as big, so it could, I'd say, it could be handled. It was always a challenge, but with the company growing, we're always changing and adapting to the changes that we have. And what the Alliance software and Petra helped us do is to kind of take it in smaller pieces. We would kind of set what these monster goals are, and then we'd kind of accomplish nothing. But with the Petra, it breaks it down in quarters, and so you can kind of pick what's going to make sense for the next 3 months and really drive on those things instead of losing everything in the pile of things that you think you're going to do. So it's helped us to break it down in smaller pieces and really take advantage of the 3 months that are covered in that quarter to try to get key things done, and then we kind of reassess.
The biggest difference the Rockefeller habits would be the traction and the speed at which we've gained that traction. And that's something the Align software helps support with the Rock habits is the clear accountability that we have. It's kind of an open book as to how the company's running. It's an open book as to whether we got something done or not. A lot of times I think through the delegation process it's difficult to get it right. A lot of people give delegation just through a verbal, hey, get this done tomorrow, and then you forget about it. Well, by being able to track those priorities and delegating those priorities and saying, hey guys, I'm going to get this finished by this time, and then we have to get it done or everybody knows we didn't. And so that was probably the biggest difference we've seen.
The biggest things that we've done that I've seen since we've engaged in Petra is just the accountability is much higher because we've got the Align software that everybody goes back to. Also, the productivity. I think we had one of our goals for the last quarter was our theme was sprint into spring, and for spring for landscapers it's a challenging time, and as you try to be prepared, you're never really prepared. But we had some very key things that we had lined up that we wanted to do. There were trainings, there were certain things with the equipment, all kind of things that we lined out. And we weren't ready for the spring because you're never really going to be ready, but we were much more ready than we had been in the past, and it alleviated a lot of stress for those of us that are trying to make sure that the customers are taken care of.
The biggest difference I've seen as a leader since implementing Petra would be the accountability and proper delegation. I would say that I was a poor delegator. A lot of orders, so to speak, were given in passing, and sometimes promises weren't kept because of it.
The leadership change in me since we've started Petra is just being more focused, I think. Like I said earlier, there's always a ton going on, and you can chase rabbits and squirrels and get off on every other thing. But with the Petra and the Align software, we've always got those key things that are in front of us that we talk about daily in our daily huddle. And so you can only get away from them for a 12-hour period, and then the software makes you get back to the thing that you're focused on. So I think probably the main thing is just keeping me focused on task of the things that we determine were the company priorities for the quarter. We got our team engaged in the Petra process by bringing them in. We have monthly staff meetings. We determined who the key field personnel were that were going to buy into what we were trying to do. And so we brought them in. The first quarter is easier because the guys, it's impossible for them to be in now. But we brought them in, we gave them tasks, we aligned them with the company priorities, so they felt like they were a part of everything. So, and we talk about it a lot, but the biggest thing was just bringing key people in. We probably have, our staff meeting we had last month didn't have the field people, and there were 10 people, but normally there's 18 to 20. So you get those guys from the field in and get them a part of the process, and obviously they feel like they're a part of it, so they buy in, and that's how we did that. I feel like we are continuing to use Petra just because we've been in the program for a year and a half, but we don't by any means feel like we have it figured out. And the quarterly meetings that we have with Petra folks really help us to kind of get an outside perspective and push us in the right direction. We have a senior leadership team, but the owner is on that, and he's great at opening up for ideas and whatever, but ultimately, we're all going to kind of go with what he decides is the best plan, and Petra, being an outside source, can kind of see when it's going that way and kind of help us to move.